Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Tuesday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets. Got my guy, Drew Gann here, and we are presented by FanDuel, the official odds provider of Bluff City Media and your Two Bucks. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Uncle Buck, how's it going today, buddy?
Boy, it's another day in paradise. It's Tuesday on the Two Buck Sports Show. A little cloudy, a little just dreary. But listen, I'm a little nervous about this weekend. I don't know about you. I'm a Power Ranger. I'm in charge of keeping the lights on. Cold front coming in on Friday morning has got me a little scared, only because there's a baby front coming in this weekend too. And
we might be Power Rangering from the hospital because we'll have another Gann edition. And I did see some severe weather is prognosticated for Friday, so that does make your weekend a little bit dicey.
Yeah, I need the prognosticators to prognosticate differently. You know, I need Mother Nature to intervene and look out for one Uncle Buck. Haley we were talking yesterday. We took the kids to the park. It's their last day before school started back, and let them play with their scooters that they got from Santa Claus and all this other kind of stuff. And she just said, you know, I know we're about to have a baby when the bad weather starts, because we always have. All of our babies have been born in like the late winter, early spring, and it's just ripe for weather changes and chaos. Yeah, and so it's holding true this time. Yeah. The due date's not till next Friday, and so they will take her as early as this Friday if she gets miserable. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to try to talk her out of it, which is not something that I would recommend anybody try to do. Talk your wife out of having a baby for work reasons.
It's like trying to talk to a wounded lion. Like, that's a good way to get mauled.
It's like, hey, actually, I'm going to need you to stay miserable for a few more days just to see if I have to work overtime, because the alternative is have this baby and have an absentee father, possibly.
I mean, that's it. Like, basically, Haley, you just got to cross your legs until Sunday. After Sunday, like, let the bad weather get through, let everything be fine. And it may not be a big deal. You know, they're calling for storms, bad weather, but hopefully it's not as bad on Friday. You know, hopefully it's much like Stranger Things. And here's our opportunity to talk about it, because you and I haven't. It's much like Stranger Things. There's a lot of anticipation and build up and hype and hope, and it falls flat on Friday.
Yeah, that is quite possibly the most pessimistic thing I've ever heard about the description of Stranger Things I've ever heard.
Let me ask you a question. Was that finale worth the 3-year wait we had to wait for?
But you're not waiting 3 years for the finale. The whole production of it is what takes 3 years. I mean,
I'm just asking.
You've got to encapsulate the whole 5th season if you're going to make that argument.
And I've said this, like, the first 4 episodes were good. You and I've talked about this. The Christmas dump was filler episodes, and then we got a less than stellar finale, in my opinion, that to me makes the entirety of the final season be like, I waited 3 years for that?
Yeah, I thought that it was a really good finale, a button on the end of the show. No, it did not have probably the amount of crazy. The final fight scene could have been a little gorier, maybe.
It was a scuffle. It wasn't a fight scene. It was a scuffle.
And, well, I mean, it's really hard to do a fight scene when everybody is – their weapons they're wielding are in their mind. Like, it's kind of hard to – but I thought it was great. I thought the whole series was great. I thought it ended great. I loved the ending and how they spent basically the last 20 minutes of the episode just telling a sob story about how they're all moving on with their lives. I value that. I don't want any cliffhangers at all. I want to know that everybody is moving on in their life and is happy and well-adjusted, and they have made it into adulthood more or less unscathed. I appreciated that. I loved the D&D game at the end, and I loved it. I think anybody who hated it just are curmudgeons and just look for ways to be mad and look for plot holes. I don't watch movies or television shows looking for plot holes. If you do, you'll find them, because you know what, Rusty? It's make-believe.
And that, like, in make-believe land, that's the best we could come up with. We've seen the Vecna L fight before. Like, there was not, like, And it's their own fault because they hyped up this final series and final episode so much.
Of course,
and then we got something we've seen before. Like there was nothing in there that screamed this was worth
Joyce
waiting
Byers
for.
cut his head off. Spoiler alert.
I've said like 80, and 80% of it was good, but it left a lot to be desired from a production standpoint. Go look. I saw a side-by-side video of Max running through Vecna's lair in season 4 versus season 5. And season 5 was like something I made on Canva. Like it's not good. Like
don't oversell your abilities. Don't oversell your abilities.
It looked like season 5. Now season 4 was awesome because it was so dramatic and the lighting and everything was better. It just it fell short of a 3-year wait for them to produce and write and do this. And
you just sound
I'm not in the minority here. I'm not in the minority here.
You could have enjoyed it. You chose not to. You started looking for plot holes.
Not at all. I started looking for plot holes after the fact because I didn't care about the
story. You didn't care about the characters. You just wanted to see visual effects and
I wanted to see a good
everything it's a make-believe story in which it was really, really good. And
talking over me, making vanilla bland points does not make you right. It actually makes you wronger.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I disagree with you wholeheartedly because you can make your points. My point I'm making is that you watching it with that through that lens, you would just been better off reading a historical document of something that actually happened where there are no plot holes possible.
I had to wait for a Sopranos finale. I had to wait for a Breaking Bad finale. I had to wait for all these shows that had really good finales. I waited for this one with the same anticipation, and it did not live up to other shows the way they did.
That's your opinion. I disagree with that opinion.
Everybody reserves the right to be wrong. You're just exercising yours here.
I'm not wrong. Go look at the ratings.
Go look at the ratings.
I'm talking about the viewership. I have not seen a single person complain about this.
Buddy, are you? But
I'm not what, and I'm online.
Everything I've seen on X
that
and Instagram,
goes to show
that
your attitude skews your algorithm towards pessimism.
There's a whole section of the fan base wrongly saying we're going to get a surprise drop on tomorrow. Like that doesn't help your point like you think it does.
It does. It does.
We're going to get a surprise drop of a new a different finale tomorrow night. The writing was so bad that the fans are convinced there's a secret finale coming out because that one was so bad.
And you know what I would say to those fans? The same thing I'm saying to you. You're being a curmudgeon. It was awesome. It ended with a bow on top. Everybody's happy. The villain has been defeated. And
also,
Russia loses again.
Season 4 Vecna and Season 5 Vecna. Like Season 4 Vecna was like top tier villain, horror, scary, bad guy. Season 5 Vecna was weak.
Did you not care for the backstory?
Way out past his ski. No, I'm talking about the Vecna L. Cool. They tied bows on all the stories. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Mike being a writer and Will going off to college and meeting his love and Nancy dropping out of college and all. Like I'm fine with all of that stuff. I am talking about the culmination of everything Vecna has done. That was weak as well water of a season from Vecna. It was so pathetic.
Listen,
and the Mind Flayer went from the scariest cloud creature in the world to a crusty crab spider thing with a giant mouth.
That thing was scary. What are you talking about? You are such a hater.
Cheesy.
I don't understand. I don't understand. You should just stop watching TV. That's what I think. Like you should just go watch.
That's how I know you know you're wrong.
Of
this is how I know you know you're wrong. Because instead of having actual arguments and actually coming back,
I don't have to have an argument to support my case.
You can't. You shouldn't watch TV no more. You're a curmudgeon. You shouldn't watch TV no more.
You shouldn't. Why in the world would anybody something that you admitted to waiting for so long to see with bated breath, and you just sit there and watch it like this?
I sat there like this, like, come on, get him. Something happened. And then it's like, that's it. Like, I was excited. I've talked about Stranger Things for 3 years being excited. Yep. I was hoping it was going to be good. I'm sorry that I am disappointed in subpar writing and finishing up of a fight.
Yeah, well, you need to add the caveat, in my opinion.
Tying up the storylines is great. Because you think that final fight scene was awesome. You think that fight scene between it was awesome. Like it was better than any other fight scene we've seen in
need to rewatch
Stranger Things. Like
I would say this, the best scene of the whole show was at the end of the Thanksgiving drop.
Yes,
with
Will.
Yeah,
absolutely,
that was the best scene, no doubt. But
I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing about the fight inside the Mind Flayer in this little desert thing.
It was
cool. There were no Demi Dogs. There were no Demogorgons. The Demi Bats had one appearance. They killed Eddie and then they left. Like they left out so many things. It's like they forgot about all the other things. It wasn't anything new.
10 out of 10.
That's sad.
10 out of 10.
That's a 10 out of 10 fight scene. That's sad.
Amazing.
Anyway, y'all have watched Uncle Buck
I Hate Good Things
decide to be wrong right here live on color television. But that's not what we're going to get you on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, that's a little tasty buffoonery. We're going to dive into some actual tasty buffoonery that we do every Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Yeah,
we got an alien bug. Like, anyway.
Yeah, just say that. In my opinion, I hated it. Don't call me wrong. Say, in my opinion, I hated it.
In the majority opinion, I hate it.
You don't speak for everybody. You don't speak for everybody. So, it's Tuesday, and if Rusty will ever let us, we'll get off of this. Okay? Because we're going to bring this show down to the dumps. Just wait till we get to the Grizzlies segment.
Yeah, we haven't even got to the part we're really going to be in the doldrums about.
Yeah. It's a Tuesday edition of the $2 Sports Show on Bluff City Media. Hit the like button if you're in the chat. If you're not in the chat, get in the chat. Subscribe to the channel. You know the drill. It's the second show of the week. I've already given you this spiel a few times, and I'll give it to you a couple more before it's over. We're going to do this quickly because we did not anticipate going on a heater with the Stranger Things finale. So we do food on our Tuesdays. We call it our Tasting Tuesdays. And the weather's getting brisk. We're finally in winter. It's coming back this weekend, in fact, which means one thing in the Gann household. It's my favorite weather, and it's soup weather.
It's, soup snakes, as Michael Scott once famously said on The Office. It's soup weather, and that's something we agree on as high-calorie humans is soup weather is the best weather, whether it's a chili, a vegetable beef, a good minestrone, some white chicken chili. The only soup that I'm not, like, crazy about is cold soup, like that gazpacho or whatever that you can get at Olive Garden. I don't want cold soup. Like, it's supposed to be hot, supposed to singe my mouth a little bit.
But I don't want it.
Would not recommend.
Is that like ice cream? Is ice cream or cold soup?
Well, it will be if you wait long enough.
Maybe a milkshake. A milkshake is cold.
A milkshake's better. Yeah, that's better because ice cream. If you eat ice cream wrong enough, it can be soup.
Yes, I prefer ice cream soup.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Like it's crockpot season. Shout out cousin Kirk making some potato soup tomorrow night. Jared, my mom's got the O'Charlie's potato soup recipe, and if you like ball knowers know that soup used to, when O'Charlie's was a thing with their little hot honey rolls, that loaded potato soup was goat level, like God level soup. And I need to get mama to make that next time I go home because killer.
Oh, she's making it for us tonight, actually.
Oh, I'm sure.
Me and Haley going over to Mama Lee's house and eating soup.
That wouldn't surprise me one bit. But this is the time of the year where you get at church, you get your chili cook-offs.
Yeah.
You get grandma's making your favorite soups, and soups are great because they get better as they sit in your fridge. So, like, if you make a soup and have it on Sunday, and you have it again, say Tuesday, it is somehow as it sat there, married and marinated and congealed in the fridge, if you will.
I love aged.
On Tuesday, it's even better. So, nothing else from our Tasty Tuesday segment. Go make some soup. Like I made some white chicken chili last week, and like I'm trying to figure out what my next one's going to be. I might make a little. My family's got this it's called turnip green soup. Don't turn your nose up yet. It's actually really good. May make some soup this weekend.
I'm married to a woman who is a fantastic cook. Her flaw is that she cannot make the same thing twice because it is just purely the swag method. Let's open up the pantry and make some soup. And last night she made some potato soup, like some chicken potato soup. It ended up being potato soup. She said it was going to be chicken stew, and it ended up being potato soup. And in which I walked in the kitchen and she was like raking spicy hummus into the bowl, and I was like, I don't know where this is going, but All right. It was awesome. But she did my favorite thing she does like a vegetable soup and a chili, and with her it's always high protein soups. Like this is not an appetizer soup and salad kind of situation.
It's hearty.
Like this is feed a war. You like feed a platoon kind of soup.
This is hearty soup. I do love a good chicken noodle soup. When I was a kid, Mom always had chicken and stars. When I was sick, it was good. But I can't help. Maggie, plug your ears. A little spoiler alert here. We're watching Parks and Rec, and I can't help but think about the episode where everybody gets the flu, and Ben Wyatt brings Leslie waffles from JJ's and chicken noodle soup, and she's like, "Give me the waffles." And like, wants nothing to do with the chicken soup, and he's like,
maybe this
is the soup right there.
Maybe this is just the kid in me. I haven't found a homemade chicken noodle soup that I like more than the Campbell's chicken noodle soup in a can with a little.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
I love that stuff. And it's just because it's nostalgic. It's when I was a kid. I don't. Haley make. She doesn't listen to this, but I don't care for hers. It's the only soup she makes that I just don't care for. It's not enough in it.
Yeah, and like it ends up, if you try to make it homemade, a lot of times it ends up super watery. They leave their carrots like really big, and they'll have like kale or something in it. Like I want a small diced carrot
in
my chicken noodle soup, and I want stars instead of noodles because like that was like my childhood. If we got sick, it was chicken and stars.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Stars? Are they just star-shaped noodles? No,
noodles,
I've never heard of such.
Instead of like the long noodles, you could get chicken and stars. You could get chicken noodle soup. There's a couple other ones, but it's Campbell's. But it's chicken and stars. Next time you're at Kroger at Walmart, help me out in the chat here if somebody else has seen this. But it's just called chicken and stars. It's by Campbell's, and it's a soup just like their chicken noodle soup, but stars instead of noodles.
So yeah, I love soup season. I've been lobbying my wife for a while now to make some chili or some taco soup. Now she's going to be on the injury report for a little while, so she's going to have to do it in a minute. And you're right, Jared. A lot of it, and it will be. A lot of taco soup, and it will be gas.
It will end up as gas. But chicken and stars is gas. Jared is an elite ball knower. But that's all the buffoonery that we're going to talk about. We're now going to transition this portion of our show to talk about the buffoonery that the Memphis Grizzlies is pulling on us here 35 games into this season.
We are the Two Bucks, and this is the Tuesday edition of the Two Bucks Sports Show. We've talked about, if we're being honest, screamed about Stranger Things. We've talked about some soups, which if you had a bingo card, it would be almost full by now, because obviously we're going to yell about soup and Stranger Things. And now we're going to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies. Please leave the show on. Don't turn us off. We'll still entertain you through the putrid Memphis Grizzlies talk.
If you're new here, just know that Uncle Buck and I, our love language is yelling at each other. That's how we let each other know we care. And we'll argue, and like to the point that his mama will say, "I saw you and Rusty arguing on the show. Are y'all good?" We're like, "Yeah, we're still best friends. It's just what we do."
It's just what we do.
And our phone calls are no different.
Have you not ever watched Skip and Shannon?
That's it. Our phone calls are no different. When we have a phone call, we'll find something to yell at each other about for a little bit. And then it's like, all right, buddy. Yeah, looking forward to the next one. See ya.
No.
But what I'm not looking forward to is the Memphis Grizzlies tonight facing off against the San Antonio Spurs at home. Over on FanDuel, you can get the Grizzlies as a 5.5 point home underdog.
You hear that noise? I think that's the Undertaker's music. Dong.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. The Grizz are plus 190 on the money line, Drew. I'm surprised it's not more than that. The Spurs coming in 7-3 in their last 10. We're 4-6 in our last 10. The 25-10 second place San Antonio Spurs, who also happen to be 3-0 against the Oklahoma City Thunder this year, are coming to town. Victor Wembanyama is a game-time decision. He's questionable. Devin Vassell is likely out tonight as well. And we don't have to go through the laundry list of the Memphis Grizzlies players who are out, as you see two on your screen here, under Band-Aids, both Zach Edey and now Cedric Coward. We barely knew you, and you sprained your ankle. I know. T's and P's to the big 2-3 for the Grizzlies, Drew. But, again, on FanDuel, some point over-unders for the Grizzlies. You've got Ja and Jaren both at 19.5 for the over-unders. If Ja decides, to play tonight, that's always a questionable thing. Santi Aldama, 14, and Santi and Cam Spencer both over under set at 14.5, and Jalen 13.5. What are you looking for tonight from the Grizzlies to try and get a miracle win over the Spurs.
Jeez, I didn't know you were going to start with the hard ones.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if Wemby didn't play.
Yeah.
That would be encouraging. Listen,
hang on. Ninja DJ in the comments is not far off with the Step Brothers fight scene.
Yeah. I would absolutely put my nutsack on Rusty's drum set.
And a heartbeat.
Listen, it's really hard to talk about this Memphis Grizzlies when you're asking me what's the chances that they win. I guess if I'm going to hold on to any hope at all, it's that Charlotte beat Oklahoma City by 30 last night. Miracles happen.
Yeah. Yeah, the tides have turned. And I mean, if Ja Morant does decide to play tonight and not be hurt with a calf contusion, there's a chance. Anytime he steps on the floor, he could go for 30 or 40 points. But even that's not been enough this year. We still find ways to lose because the offense is so stagnant with him on the floor. We're going to need a great Jaren game tonight. We're going to need a great Santi game tonight. Let's get good Santi back. And then the biggest thing we need is for Harrison Barnes to get indigestion and not play tonight because he's got acid reflux, something like that. Because he cooks us every time. The Spurs are 2-0 against us this year, and it's been death by Harrison Barnes.
Yep.
And it sucks. I hate it.
I can't say it any better myself. Listen, I'm so fatigued by the Ja stuff, and there's been injuries. If you look in the years past, where I was extremely critical of Ja because you finished the game and looked fine, and you didn't play the next game. He was actively limping at the end of that game, and I was like, and it's a calf, which means obviously we're going to put bubble wrap around him, put him on the shelf, and figure this out in a month. And so it's kind of hard for me to be like, Ja should be playing. I've been on the side that said Ja should be playing before. So I'm just letting you know I'm willing to criticize. We know what calf injuries are, how they're treated on this team with this front office. So I don't know. However, nothing is going to change about my outlook for the Memphis Grizzlies, especially playing against good teams like San Antonio, if Ja and Edey aren't playing. I just don't know. I still don't know. I watched the back-to-back with the Lakers, and they're a different team when Ja's on the court. They stink when Ja's on the court, and then they looked good when Ja's off the court. But the problem when Ja's off the court is that you've got Jaren and a bunch of bench players playing, and they don't have a chance anyways. So we're still in this same endless loop of saying, wait till we get our players back. And it's extremely frustrating. That's why I don't have much to add. What I will say, what I'm looking forward to is because I'm ready to pick a side when it comes to Ja and Isolo. We talked about this yesterday a little bit, and I talked about it on the post-game bounce Friday night after the Lakers game. It's something's got to give. Ja is obviously not is not buying in, not executing the system. It doesn't look the same as the bench players. Is it Ja? Is it the system? All this kind of stuff. I'm ready to stop talking about this and make a decision, and I can't do that until Edey gets back at minimum.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. What's that? This just in, the Memphis Grizzlies have one win over a team with a winning record this year. One win under Tuas Isolo in his entire tenure.
You know what happened after we beat Minnesota in that game? We lost to the Wizards.
The Wizards, that's right. Exactly right. And the Spurs come in at 25-10. That's where I'm at. I'm just tired. From now on, consider our Grizzlies segment. I'm just going to hold up a sign that says, wait till everybody gets healthy, and then we're going to move on.
And I said I wasn't going to do that. I said you're just going to have to be judged on the players that play because this is the Grizzlies. Part of loving the Grizzlies is loving an injury report. You've just got to – it's unconditional love because these dudes don't play for you, and yet you still love them.
That's it. Brandon Clark is a cult hero, and he's played 9 games in the last 2 seasons. Ja Morant is the most beloved sports superstar ever loosely affiliated with Memphis. Him and probably Penny. And Ja Morant has played – you know how many games – I don't know if you watched the Daily Ground this morning, if you saw it, but you know how many games out of 35 Ja Morant has played in this year?
Out of 35, I would guess he's played in 17.
18, so really close.
Okay.
Played in 18. You know who's played in more games than Ja Morant this year for the Memphis Grizzlies? Olivier Maxence Prosper,
I was
just
gonna
like
say,
all of us
please
had.
don't say Omax.
Just
Please
like
don't
all
say
of us
Omax.
had in the preseason. That Omax was going to play in more games so far this year. He's played in 19 to
be
Ja
honest with you,
Morant's
that's not a
18.
stretch. It's not a stretch.
No.
So, listen, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, this team is capable of shooting well, especially with Jaws off the court. They're capable of playing above their skill level, because it is a we more than me kind of basketball. But you're capped at a certain point when your best players are Santi, Jaren, Jalen Wells, and Cam Spencer.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But Jared brings up a good point here in the comments, talking about moving off of players, Drew, as we transition to our Beale Street heat check. This is going to be kind of the bulk of the show because I think this is a good conversation. Everybody's seen the news coming out of Atlanta. Trae Young has, stuck it out in Atlanta, been around in Atlanta. They've stuck it out with Trae Young, and it's just kind of reached the breaking point where Trae Young and his team are working with the Hawks on a deal to get him out of Atlanta. I feel like what we're watching is like some foreshadowing for what could happen in Memphis. And so I'll start there, Drew. Would you trade if Atlanta called and said, look, let's trade, begrudging, oft injured, struggling point guard for struggling point guard? Would you trade Trae Young for Ja Morant?
No.
Good answer.
No. I
Because it's just going from one problem to the same problem.
I've never been the Trae Young guy. Like, I mean,
we got called out on this show. We called him out and got called out by a bunch of Hawks fans for it. But we don't like Trae Young.
Never cared for him. I understand that I am a hater, but I've just never enjoyed watching him play. I've never rooted for him.
Mm-hmm.
That he is highlights, but he's it's just not my cup of tea. It's just soft. It's there's zero effort at defense. A lot of hoping you get to the foul line. In its essence, best Trae is awesome, but just like Ja, best Trae we ever saw is when he took Atlanta to the conference finals. And what was that, 22?
Somewhere around there. It was around the same time we made our run, and everybody was like, oh, Ja and Trae are the next big things. Like, these are the two teams on the coming up. And then they both kind of went the same way. Ja more off-course stuff. Trae just being a terrible teammate, unethical hooper, as Jared says here, and then just unavailable. They both stay beat up. They both stay hurt. Neither of them make the teams around them necessarily better anymore. And so I am in the same camp. I would not trade Ja Morant for Trae Young. But
when you look at that this way, if that happened, everybody in Atlanta would be excited and everybody in Memphis would be mad. So that probably tells you who won.
Yeah, that's fair. And it gets to the point, like with Ja Morant, we're going to start having to have those conversations. We're going to have the conversation with Jaren. This team, this rebuild, this retooling, whatever you want to call it, is clearly not going well. Not necessarily to anybody's fault. Like, maybe we could have done a better job of picking people who don't get injured. I do put some onus on Zach Kleiman for this rebuild, but also some of these guys like for sure. But like Zach Edey never got hurt in college. KCP wasn't like an oft injured guy. Cedric, like these people that come into Memphis and then they get hurt. But like at the end of the day, like this rebuild is not going well. And again, Zach Kleiman has a large part of that. So it comes to the point where if we have to trade, who are you going to trade first, Ja or Jarrett? You're ZK. You have to make the decision.
You're telling me I have to trade somebody? Because I would just hold pat.
Up.
No, I would just keep with both. That's what I would do. I'm general manager of the Grizzlies. No, I'm not. I'm firing the coach. That's what I'm doing.
But you get to a
Ja
point.
Morant to pick his coach.
Trade. You have to trade. We thought allegedly we did that, and Ja Morant signed off on it.
He gave a stamp, but he wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't deciding anything.
But you have to pick one. You have to pick one.
Given the rest of the roster, and I'm still firing the coach, but I'd trade Jaren, I guess. Just because you've got Edey, you've got Ced, you've got a wing and a post player. Like listen, I've said 1,000 times, Jaren may at times be the best player, but the most important player was always Ja. And you do not get players like Ja here. You're unlike Atlanta, where they could trade Trae Young and then get somebody in free agency. That ain't happening here. Mm-hmm. You've got to keep your superstar. Point blank. That's it.
You trade Ja Morant, though. We got Ja Morant in the draft, and there's a real likelihood you trade Ja Morant, and he's very important to this team, although I would say less so lately, as when he plays, we seem to be worse. But you trade Ja Morant, you fire the coach, you land in the lottery, you might be able to find another guy like that. I think Jaren will get you more on the trade market because people look at Ja Morant. I do believe that ESPN article where people see Ja Morant, they're like, he's moody. He doesn't this is 2 straight coaches he's soured on. He stands in the corner. He doesn't give you effort. So I think in order to trade him, you're going to have to send him to Washington or Charlotte or Sacramento and attach some picks to move him. But if we made Jaren Jackson Jr. available, you could get quite a haul from him because outside of a box here in Memphis, at large, Jaren is viewed as a highly productive player, what he is, a 20-point DPOY potential player. He's not lived up to that this year, but I think Jaren would command a better haul in return because you're sending out a quality player. But Ja is going to be tough to move.
I would say that public perception is probably high for Jaren, definitely higher than Ja. But I would say the vast majority of people that hate on Ja's outlook right now would say that a change of scenery is what he needs. And
possibly
we will get better out of him because he's obviously unhappy.
Possibly, but if he comes out and asks for a trade, Memphis loses all leverage because then they're going to say, well, why would we he wants out anyway. Like we're taking on baggage for you. Like Memphis, as it stands, Memphis has really no leverage with Ja anyway because of his own court antics and the culture problem that he's becoming.
Yeah,
like Memphis doesn't have a lot of leverage there.
I don't really buy that as much. You truly don't have leverage if you are in the last year of a contract or an expiring stuff like. Buddy, we got you for 3 more years. Like there is leverage to being like you can't play anywhere else, and I'm not trading him. That's what you say until you trade him. It's like he's not going anywhere. And
do you imagine though, like we're coming up time where it's going to be time to extend Ja Morant. I have seen nothing that tells me we're going to want to or we should extend him early given the return on investment that this recent extension gave us.
No, you're probably going to want to try to sign him for less than the max.
Because he's eligible to extend this offseason, this coming up offseason, the first year he would be eligible for an extension conversation.
Yeah, but you saw them do this with Jaren too. It's like you just waited to the last minute, didn't get it done early, and because with Jaren, it's because he was injured all the time. You didn't want to give him or commit to him a max, and then you waited and waited and waited. And it turns out he had an All-NBA season, and then you paid him a lot. Like the player came out on top at that.
You almost had to pay him even more,
right? And so. You do that with Ja, and it's like, well, we're just going to keep holding. We're going to keep holding. And then if Ja turns around and gets back to himself and leads his team in the way that he used to, then you'd happily give him the money. Like, yeah, you're my guy. But
Paris Sarkey recently said, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And
he said that he was the originator of that quote, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we've had 6 straight seasons of Ja Morant not meeting the minimum threshold of being able to be eligible for postseason awards. We have got what we're hanging on to for Ja Morant was the 2021 and 2022 season. We were in the 2025-2026 season. That was 4 whole basketball seasons ago. And
again, too, I have a hard time saying that making the 65 game argument because that's a rule that we all agree needs to go away.
I mean, I hear you, but 65 is a large majority of the games. When has
Jokic
Ja Morant
is not going to play 65 games this year.
Ja Morant has played in exactly half of our games so far this year. 17 and a half. Exactly half. And it's becoming more and more of a theme. It's more consistent than it is like an anomaly at this point. The anomaly was the 21-2022 season at this point. Am I wrong?
Well, up to that point, that was great. It's since that point, it's been really bad. Yeah, listen, you're going to need a sports psychologist or Jesus, a meeting with the good Lord himself to try to get through to Ja Morant. Like, I don't know what the deal is. I'm still, and again, I'm not going to make a final decision on this. I still feel like Ja Morant is not used well. A lot of that has to do with apparently he cannot play without Zach Edey. I think that's what we're hopefully going to find out when they both get healthy again, is that you just need Zach Edey more than you need anybody else not named Ja Morant. And it's a package deal. But
so
when Ja's out there with the other guys not named Edey, like it's left-footed, it's bad. There's no rhyme, no reason, no flow, there's nothing.
Yeah. So Ja Morant, year by year, his rookie year, he was the rookie of the year, and he played 67 games. Yeah. And that's the most he has ever played. Mm-hmm. The following year, he played 63. The following year, in 21-22, he played in 57 games, was 7th in the MVP voting, was the most improved player, and an NBA all-second team. In the 2022-2023 season, he played 61 games and finished 12th in the MVP voting, and he was an all-star. Since then, in the 23-24 season, 9 games. 24-25 last year, 50 games. So far this year, 18 out of 35. He's on pace to play 41 games this year?
Well, I mean, if he stays at half, he'll play 41. Yeah, 40. What I'm saying. 48, 41 games. Listen, you could do the same thing about Jaren. Just the thing with Jaren is that you're on the other side of it. Like, he started off being extremely injured, and now he's had 2 seasons in which he wasn't. So, like, listen, I don't know. Again, if I'm general manager Drew of the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm not trading any of them. And I'm sitting down there in a locked office sometime, and I'm going to be like, Ja, T.I., do what you've got to do to come out of this door happy and respecting each other, whether that means punches, insults. I don't care. Come out bloody, bruised, and beaten. Just come out with a better attitude and respect for each other and with a path forward. This is just untenable, and it's untenable for the second year in a row. And it's always just like a coach that is just incapable of giving an inch to a superstar player.
Yeah, because you talked about Jaren and being the opposite. 58 his rookie year, finished 4th in the rookie of the year voting. 57 and 11 in the 2021 season. That's when he had his knee issue and his knee surgery. Since then, he played 78 games in 21-22, was a 50 POI, all first-team defense. Then he played 63, 66, 74, and so far 33 out of 35. Yeah. Forgive me if I want consistency, and if feet to the fire and I had to trade one, I'm going to move Ja Morant first. And but agree, this is not, hang on, caveat, asterisk, I'm not advocating for trading either one of them right now. Yeah. I am closer to trading one than I am the other, but I'm not saying we need to trade either one of them at this trade deadline.
I'm just of the opinion that Ja doesn't suck at basketball, and it is not a bygone era for Ja to succeed. He is not a has-been. He's not washed up. So why in the world is he not good? And I'll watch the whole offense shut down when he's a part of it, which makes me think that it's just not optimized for him. And whatever you do as a head coach, whatever you do, you are responsible for putting your best players in position to be the best.
Now, I'll say this. This is two straight seasons where a system has not been optimized for Ja Morant, and both of them have been rather goofy. They've both been rather goofy. This year, I was sold that this was going to be more of a high pick and roll for Ja and be what he is hoping for. It hadn't been. Ja hasn't been happy with this and hadn't played well. So if Zach Kleiman is able to make another head coaching decision, which I don't think he should or would be, you have to go back to a more traditional basketball system because we're trying to outsmart and outthink everybody, and we've got it feels like a room full of dummies trying to do that because we can't figure out how to outsmart people in a small market. Like, we're trying to buck 80 years of data and going against what our superstar point guard wants. To me, that's a recipe for disaster.
I would love to know what Tayshaun Prince would like to say about this.
We
hired from within last time.
Yeah.
I would love to know because I guarantee you that Tayshaun Prince is a what, 20-year NBA veteran, one of the smartest dudes in the world.
Yeah.
He's
Won a
not just
title.
sitting around being like, how do we make the team better despite Ja? I think that's a good idea. Like, no, he doesn't think that.
No, and that's not what I'm saying either. I'm just, we're trying
I'm
to
just
overthink
lobbying for
it.
the next general manager to be Tayshaun Prince. That's what I'm saying.
Buddy, I would love that. Guy has a championship pedigree. He's tough. He's well respected in the NBA. I like whatever we do, keep that guy.
Yeah, he's going to be the GM somewhere.
Yeah.
And, Zach Kleiman does not survive another head coaching change. That's why we're going to get this and why it'll be Ja before it'll be T.I., in my opinion. Just because the guy making the decision knows that his job is directly tied with Tomas Isolo. And it just is what it is.
Unfortunately, that's the way of the world. And I'm curious to see how this Trae Young thing goes, because while I think they are different players, their story is not all that dissimilar. And
the
I
media
think
likes to lump them together.
Yeah. It's different issues for each player. And I think I'm curious to see what the market is going to be for Trae Young and if that influences one way or another with Ja Morant.
I'll tell you this. God help you if you get traded to Washington. That's never the start of a rejuvenation of a career.
Sure. They broke Tyus Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, The only one to get out alive was Marcus Smart, and he was only there for like a month and a half.
Yeah, and not comparing Tyus and Trae Young by any means, but Tyus went there and he's been cheap since he left.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's going to have to happen. I don't know that a contender is going to take a flyer on the Trae Young, even one who needs a point guard. I mean,
I'll put it to you this way: if you're trading for Ja Morant and you're trading for Trae Young, if you look at Trae Young, you're like, what are the downsides? Well, he can't play defense. He's kind of small. You can't fix that. What are the downsides of Ja Morant? Well, he's had some bad injury luck, and he's moody and unhappy with. Well, guess what? It is injury luck which can turn. It's been obviously unlucky. He's not tearing an ACL every 6 months. He's just twisting an ankle. And the other thing is, like, if he's unhappy, we'll let him do whatever he wants. Heck, you name your coach. You whatever you want to do, buddy. And that fixes that. So check. And the top end of Ja Morant is head and shoulders above the top end of Trae Young.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I mean, although Trae Young's ceiling is a conference finals, Ja Morant hadn't been there yet. That's a team award. And that's as I say, but that's more of a team award. It's just, again, I think there's a lot of parallels to draw here, and I'm curious to see what this is going to do. If anything, if it influences the Memphis Grizzlies and how we handle Ja Morant going forward,
if they do get a haul for Trae Young, it does pique the interest of Zach Kleiman. Like, if you can get 3-4 first-round picks and a young player for Trae Young, it's like, okay, well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's a second team out there that wants to match this offer, if not exceed it.
Mm-hmm.
For somebody bang for your buck.
Yeah. For somebody who has shown 3-4 seasons ago that they could be an elite NBA player, maybe they think that it's the ultimate I can fix her, right? Like, come here, I can fix her.
For instance, I don't think that Zach Kleiman went into the 2025 offseason saying priority one is trading Desmond Bane.
Yeah.
But when they were doing their homework and backdoor channels and stuff like that, they realized that somebody was willing to give up 4 first-round picks for him, and then it's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're trading Desmond Bane.
You're speaking my language with those first-round picks, my guy.
And so that changes the calculus. And the Desmond Bane trade makes me think that maybe Zach Kleiman can pull off something. I don't want to rebuild. I want to love what we've got with Sed and Zach and those guys, and so I don't want to rebuild. I cannot do a daily podcast and cover a team that is actively tanking to the likes of the Washington Wizards. I can't.
And that's never been our MO. Like that's never been our MO. I don't think that's what we're going to do. I think like a slow, quiet tank is something that may happen.
There's no such thing.
but you can manipulate the injury report and injury list.
A slow, quiet tank is worse than tanking. That is just tanking without admitting it.
It's deceptive.
Well, I mean, what? Well, no, it's like, oh, we're going to softly tank, which means at best we're going to have the 7th best odds. Like, buddy,
which is deceptive because you're not you're not going out like. No, I hear what you're saying.
I know, I agree, it's deceptive, but it's also the outcome is less desirable than having the worst odds.
And then again, the last few years having the worst odds have not proven well because the worst odds have been picking around 4 or 5 and not the first overall picks. So listen, we're not here advocating for the Grizzlies to do that. I don't think we are, and I don't like that's not what our MO is, but like this season is not going how we had planned. But before we get out of here, I do have to ask, are the Charlotte Hornets the Oklahoma City Thunder kryptonite, or is it J-Dub coming back to the lineup?
No, the San Antonio Spurs are the kryptonite.
That's true.
This is an 82-game season. Like, you see flukes. That's what I talk about nonstop. Like, if we talk about every single game, so we have to get firing mad anytime that the Grizzlies lose to the Wizards, which has happened twice this year.
Ugh.
Every year you can look back and say, oh, that team was really good. How did they lose to that game? And it's just like, I don't know. It happened.
Yeah.
Like, it happened.
The Hornets were hot. They shot 53 from the field, 51% from 3, and 92 from the stripe. The Thunder shot 37, 28, 67. That's your story.
It was a perfect storm. I didn't watch a single dribble of this game, but I imagine it was a perfect storm because listen, Oklahoma City has the highest floor of any team ever in NBA basketball. Like, they could defend, they've got athletes, they can shoot, they can make layups, they can do everything. But there are going to be nights when you play 82 games in which that shot feels good coming off your finger and it hits the corner of the backboard and everybody does it the same night. Like, you
combine that with LaMelo Ball going 4 of 7 from 3, Con Knippel going 5 of 7, Brandon Miller 7 of 10. Like, Con Knippel's amazing. He's so good. 28 minutes, 23 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. He had 5 turnovers, but that's a rookie. Like, the future is bright for the Nip, that's for sure.
Free the Nip. Get him out of Charlotte.
On that note, we are going to wrap up a little early today. We both have hard outs for work, so we appreciate y'all hanging out with us in the comments. A little bit shorter show today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to start talking some college football semis as those are coming up on Thursday and Friday this week. We got a lot more to get to, and hopefully talking about a Grizzlies win tonight by some miracle over the Spurs before a Suns game tomorrow where I will be in the building and we will also probably not win. But anyway, go Grizz.
Listen, we've got to win. We've got to win tonight because I cannot deal with the Dylan Brooks conversation tomorrow leading up to the Phoenix game.
I've already had it in the last couple weeks. I asked y'all in the group chat, like I don't look at this team and think we're Dylan Brooks away from being competitive, and I don't want him to come in here and go for 30 and have to listen to that on all the shows and all the things.
If you're going to say that you want Dylan Brooks on this team, you also have to admit that he is a head and shoulders better player than he was when we let him walk.
Yeah. And I mean, he's having a good year this year, but it's always fool's gold. He started good in Houston before the floor fell out, and Houston was not sad to see him go because he shot them out of games as well. But anyway, in the meantime, y'all go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, tell them why there are no refunds.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. Hope everybody has a good day. We'll see you back tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.